with phone and more. But something else makes him tick, and everyone
Good
wants
morning,
to know
everyone,
what
and
it is.
welcome to today's
Well,
edition of
Josh
Business
buys and
Express
sells stocks all
981.
by himself online.
It's
How are you guys
Tuesday,
doing?
the 10th of November.
Yes, yes.
We are
It's
doing
easy.
good, and I'm
He
glad
logs
I'm
on to
starting off with some good news this morning. Although I hope the
Yes.
www.armstocktrade.com
explanation is
and
good news
buys
too.
and sells stocks,
The
I'm not
subscribes,
lying
explanation
to
is
you.
trading
one
bonds,
kind,
and
Joe.
government bonds. Views
Have you
all
sent
his
Salamde a
portfolios at a
message?
glance, stays on top of news and
Uh,
market trends, executes his trading fast, and he does this
is
and
she on
more
now?
all
No,
What's
by
that sound?
himself. Now,
it's
that's what makes Josh the coolest
it's
guy.
what's that
Won't
thing
you
called
rather
now?
be like Josh? Get on board. Log on to
Is
Sounds
www.armstocktrade.com
like a
or
generator.
download
yeah, it's
the
the
Arm
thing.
Stock Trade app on
No.
Go
Google
on.
Play Store or Apple
She's
iOS
not
Store
available.
and make money now. Business Express on Smooth
All right, we're going on.
98.1. Brought to you by ARM. Local and global market opportunities safely at your fingertips.
Says 6:45.
Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. I'm Ayo Myro SA. It is time for Business Express 981 with Rotus. Morning, Rotus. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, Ayo, and good morning to all our fantastic listeners out there.
Excellent. Now, if you'd like to send a message to us on WhatsApp, please do so 0809 444 On YouTube, we're streaming live, so you can go onto YouTube right away. It's Smooth 981 FM Lagos. And of course, you can use the hashtag Business Express 981.
Yes, indeed, and shout out to ARM. Shout out to ARM. We should be talking about their stock platform that allows you to buy and sell stocks on the exchange. I know that stocks are going to be the big interest this morning, simply because of where the markets popped up to yesterday. The markets were up by about 4%, I believe, is where the markets, the Nigerian Stock Exchange was up yesterday. It was a big, in fact, global markets. It wasn't even just the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Markets in the United States, although the Nasdaq, where tech stocks dominate, that kind of fell flat later on. But the Dow Jones, S&P 500, the CAC in France, I think the DAX in Germany, FTSE 100. No, but the markets yesterday were on fire, mostly because, I mean, globally was because of Pfizer's announcement that they had a 90% efficacy rates with their COVID-19 vaccine that they've been testing. So it looks like that's the reason why the markets around the world were on fire. Again, Lagos and beyond. Around the world, the markets work on news. So there was big news that, okay, well, there might be a vaccine finally, although President-elect Joe Biden, who I predicted would win the election, said that it will be many, many months until a vaccine is actually available for wide use. But that's how the markets are supposed to work. It's supposed to work on news. So the moment everybody heard that, there's a vaccine, the equities just took off. Now, Nigeria, well, Nigeria, is Olamide here?
Yes, I was just going to introduce
Okay.
her. We have Alamide Adeboboye from ARM. Good morning, Alamide.
Ayo.
Good to have you on the show.
All right, Olamide, please, good morning. Help us out. I just explain to our listeners at least why markets around the world were on fire yesterday, thanks to the Pfizer announcement. But what about Nigeria? I mean, were Nigerian equities popping because there's a vaccine on the horizon, or why are the markets on fire yesterday?
Well, globally, it's a blend of different things. Some refer to it as a Biden rally, and you could also call it that. Some believe it's because of the COVID, the Pfizer recording. Saying that they have like 90% success, or what have you that you call it, as far as the COVID-19 vaccine that they are working on, is concerned. But I'll say that regarding referring to it as a Biden rally, it's just basically the fact that some things are expected, right? Being that Biden won the election. First, the fact that he already from yesterday he was already talking about setting up um, a team to actually tackle the pandemic. Across board. Also, there's expectation is expected to deepen foreign relations, relative to what Trump had, what we had under Trump administration. Also, China being that, China being one of the major countries that was affected by the foreign relations, as that recent data already shows that their activity is gradually returning back to the pre-pandemic level. And if you're expecting less trade war, being that you have a Biden administration, it means that you can expect global economic activity to, gradually pick up. Also, there's the bit of the fiscal stimulus package that you would expect, contrary to Trump, which was a bit reluctant as to the level of fiscal stimulus package that will be released. Now you would expect that it's going to be easier, to have more stimulus package released to the U.S. economy to, basically encourage consumption. Also, you have the discussion on the tax raise that we're expecting that once Biden comes in, there was going to be, a tax hike. But right now, it looks like it's going to have more of a Republican-led Senate. And what that means is that you might not be very successful in immediately implementing a tax hike, which is what has basically supported the market's performance under Trump administration. So that basically supported a large chunk of the global rally that you saw, as well as it's one of the news on COVID-19 is one of the most encouraging, we've had so far concerning the vaccine. And then coming down to Nigeria here, you see, just because of the optimism you saw on the global leg, you would see that crude oil prices actually, gained yesterday. And then also, aside that, you also have some maturities coming on board this week. You're expecting T-bill maturity like Thursday. So aside that, you have there's a bank cement commercial paper that's also expected to mature this week. So you have a series of maturity coming on board. And there's also optimism regarding the Biden rally, the COVID-19 vaccine. You'd expect that to basically just filter into the market performance that you've seen as well. I mentioned that crude oil prices also went up yesterday. So it's a blend of different things, really. It's not just one thing that's driving the market. You had a lot of, I'll just say you had a lot of optimism as far as the market was concerned yesterday. Hence the reason we saw the rally across board. Market was up by 3.9, over 3%. I'm not sure we've seen that much optimism in a while, but yeah, that's really what drove the market performance yesterday.
All right, thank you for that, Olamide. So, what about so it's optimism. So it's not really much about fundamentals or some of the third quarter or 9-month results that we've seen. Have you been impressed by any of the results we've seen? They've been okay, because many of the corporates in Nigeria are bouncing back from the lockdown, seem to be doing all right. So it's not, is it, if somebody is listening now and they want to use the ARM stock trade website now to hop on and start buying stocks, what kind of advice would you give someone that is excited by, because this is how it works. You see a big pop like yesterday and people get excited and think, I think we even had a message. Who sent a message? Unduka, yeah. So
before we started, Unduka said, was saying he wanted us to discuss the stock market. Right.
So Unduka, thank you, Unduka. Unduka already sent a message. What's happening? The market is up. Should I, people are going to be, so Olamide, what is the advice? Should people be careful? Is it a one-off? There might be bad news tomorrow about the vaccine. Who knows? Please go ahead.
Well, as it is, like we've always said, equity market is not it's not the Ponzi scheme where you go in today and then you're certain that you're not even certain, and then they tell you tomorrow you get a certain percentage of money, right? The point is the equity market, as far as if it's fundamentally driven, right from the get-go, we've said that Nigerian market is cheap. You have a lot of stocks that are trading at historical lows, right? So they were always good buys, and if you check the results that came out for Q3, a large number of them actually came out with impressive results. Even the beverage sector, right? You would ordinarily expect just a quarter-on-quarter improvement, being that there's the reopening of the economy and all of that. But some of them actually even recorded, year-on-year improvements. It just tells you that things are, gradually picking up, and even the cement companies that released, you would see that volume pick up, in the results that we saw. So yeah, there's a fundamental bit to it, but the thing is, because again the stats that blanket over the Nigerian markets when it comes to FX, our exposure to FX, FX concerns, oil markets, that volatility. You would see that a lot of foreign investors would try to stay off the market. And if you check the trend in the last few months, you find out that it's been more of the domestic guys that have been driving the market, the participation that you've seen in the market. So as much as we've been cheap and it's been, looking at the results of most of these companies, it would have been good to actually buy into the Nigerian market. A lot of them actually stayed off just because of this concern. So there's a bit of fundamental to it, and you will find out that they are basically picking a large chunk of the names that gained yesterday. You'd see good names, on the chart. So yes, there's the fundamental bit, and there's also all of the news that I'd mentioned, and a lot of the results that came out. But a lot of them actually exceeded our expectations. To be honest with you. So in terms of what we should be telling clients right now, again, we've always said the good time to go into markets is when the market is really down, right? And you just it's a wait and watch approach. So there's going to be the volatility. I mean, tomorrow a news comes out and you hear something like the vaccine, there's a bit of delay. The market would definitely react. But the point is, you don't do a 2 months, 3 months, investment horizon, and you expect to get a significant result or a significant return. It's a volatile year, and I'd expect that you would want to wait out, some of these gains for you to get some good things from it. And if you want to go into the market, I will still say that it's still a good time, because some of the stocks are still trading at really low, very low levels. I would say Seplat is a good buy for me. You could go on. Thanks and results was good. It's still one of the stocks you might want to look at. Also, consumer names were really beaten. They were beaten earlier this year. So you might want to start looking at some of those names that have really gone at historical lows, and you just want to take position ahead of, next year. Some of them might be able to take price increases. A lot of them were unable to take significant price increases, despite the fact that cost actually went up. So if they're able to do that, then it's kind of positive for them. So, and again, the news about Danke Cement being allowed to now export is good. Despite, I think, the last results that was released, the exports actually suffered due to the border closure. So having this news means that there's some optimism for them. They'll be able to export some of their produce, so which is good. So you definitely see some sort of interest in the stock, going forward. So all of these things, it also means that the government is gradually, softening its stance on the opening of the borders, which has put its good and its bad side. But basically, if you're going to go into the market, you need to speak with your brokerage house. You can reach out to us. We'll let you know the stocks you should be picking, and you can just go on from there. But yes, there's still opportunity in the market, I guess.
All right, very, very cautious advice from Olamide there of ARM. Thank you. Okay,
We have some comments here.
Okay, all right.
So someone's asking about a company that's claiming they can give you back 25% monthly on your investment, and that's I think it's who's this now?
Okay, you didn't send your name.
Please put your name.
Yeah, but no.
I knew your name.
25% monthly. Oh, wait, Olamide. If somebody comes and says to you that they found an investment that gives 25% monthly, not annually, what will you tell them?
I'll tell you to stay off, because there's no legit instrument at the moment, right, that will give you 25% monthly. So I mean, the fact you're already telling me 25%, you're already rings a bell. T-bills are trading less than 1%. Your bonds are pretty lower than 10% rate. So where's this 25% coming from? Even the equity markets, I'm not sure they return 25% in a month. So whatever the person is investing in is definitely not the traditional assets. And then if it's some sort of alternative investment class, I mean, I'll really need to check details before I go into it. But I will tell you, the first response should be take a step back to evaluate whatever the person is telling you to put your money into.
He's saying that it's forex. Tolu's the person. Tolu says
no,
it's
sir,
forex.
no, sir. Thank you, Olamide. By the way, the market so far has done only as hot as the market is only done 5% this month. Year to date, it's done about 20%. So 25% a month is nah.
All right, Yinka says, what if this whole thing was a setup? Like, because looking at the mail-in vote numbers, it's crazy. Because thanks to COVID-19, there's more defense for mail-in votes. What if this whole thing was designed to get Trump out? Wow.
Okay,
Yinka,
I thought he was talking about the markets. I thought he was
talking about the vaccine now coming out.
Okay.
You know, at this time, just
It's okay, Yinka. He's gone now, and that's I'm happy with that. So
John from Ikeja says stock is gambling. It favors the companies and the brokers. For the consumers, it's like buying a lottery ticket. Anything you see, you take.
John, if you are a shareholder, what about shareholders? You only talk about these companies and the brokers. What about shareholders who hold the stocks that have been going up? It's a wealth generator. You just have to know what to pick, and you have to have financial analysts and advisors like ARM and Olamide to advise you. Olamide, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. All right. Brilliant. All right, Lagos, if you'd like to join or take the conversation online or offline, off air, online, please go to Twitter at Smooth981FM. You can find Rotus at Rotan Quotes. That's Ayomairu Essay.
Rotan Quotes, ROTANKWOT. Any investments you hear about, if it's funny, if it sounds off, just send them to me. I will give you my honest assessment and we'll discuss it on air. Please, I want to guide everybody here. That's why we're here to give you value. So just reach out. Wherever you hear the investment, reach out and let me know.
Excellent. All right, next up, 7:30 to be exact, we have Freshly Pressed 981. I'll be joined by Kemesit and Mr. C will be here. I'll be joining me via telephone. In the meantime, enjoy some smooth music, courtesy Smooth 98.1.
Business Express on Smooth 98.1. Brought to you by ARA.
Thank you,
thanks, Larry. To see you. My vacation has been approved, though. So, all of you were enjoying 1 week. You guys have gotten like 4 weeks of vacation. In fact, not even 4 weeks. You got like a year of vacation since lockdown. So it's my turn. So I'll set up. Olamide, like for instance, ARM. I'll send scripts and everything. Or maybe we'll go during my host while I'm out. Next week, I will still be here.
Can you imagine who approved it?
Yeah. You try.
Who approved it?
Josh buys and sells stocks all by himself online. His trading secret, ARM Stock Trade. It's easy. He logs on to www.armstocktrade.com and buys and sells stocks. Subscribes for treasury bills and government bonds. Views all his